When our taxes due this year should be April 15, right? Wrong. Think again. I've got a full explanation of the deadlines and dates you need to know for this tax season. That and more coming up. My name is Mike Bernard. I'm the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. So I like to remind our tax team, we do about 4,000 tax returns a year. We've got a full team of financial advisors, tax professionals, CPAs, and all of that. So every single day as I talk to you about having a comprehensive approach to your financial life, your financial professionals talking together and planning proactively for you, that's what the entire operation here at Korhorn Financial Group is all about. So anyway, do lots of taxes. And 2 years ago, we're just humming along with tax season. And then, the entire economy shut down. Everything shut down. You weren't allowed to see each other. Right in the middle of tax season is when all of that transpired. And sure enough, they delayed. For a while, we're like, okay, how do we get taxes done? How do we get signatures and moving everything virtual right in the middle of the busiest time of year, right in the middle of tax season was challenging. They pushed the tax deadline out to July 15, 2020. So last year, okay, everything should be fine, right? Everything's back open. People were wearing masks, but we can still function. No. They changed all the rules with taxes right in the middle of March. It's just a certain amount of your unemployment was no longer taxable, and other things changed right in the middle of tax season, and they delayed the tax filing deadline until I think May 15, May 17, something like that, 2021. So certainly everything's back to normal now, right? April 15 should be the deadline. Wrong, actually, but not by a huge margin, at least not yet. Who knows what they could change? Right now, the tax filing deadline for your 2021 tax return that you're going to file right now, spring of 2022, the deadline, that is due by April 18 of 2022, April 18th. Why? Because in Washington, D.C., there is a holiday. There is a holiday that this year blocks that being the tax filing deadline. And so, therefore, the deadline is April 18. Taxes can be filed right now. The IRS is open for business. They started accepting tax returns on January 24th. So you can file right now, and you have all the way up until April 18 of 2022 to file your tax return. Now, what if you say, it's not enough time? I need a little more time. I'm delayed on getting some tax documents, or I need to get all my info together for all the crypto that I sold and bought and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, because you got to report all that. If I need more time, anyone can file an automatic extension. You can file an extension. Just make sure you do by the deadline. You got to file an extension by April 18, but that gives you an automatic 6 months. And because the dates are a little wonky this year, that gives you all the way up until October 17 to file your tax return, okay? But you've got to submit that extension by April 18th. What if you think you're going to owe taxes? Well, here's the strange thing. Taxes are actually due during the tax year, okay? They're due at the time that you have the income. So if they're being withheld, you can withhold them all throughout the year. It doesn't matter any time. If you don't have taxes withheld and you had income in a certain quarter, you've got to be paying quarterly estimates. Otherwise, there's a penalty, okay? So those quarterly estimates, we'll get to that in just a second. But when you're filing that extension, if you don't think that you'll be able to file a tax return by April 18, then when you file that extension, if you believe you're going to owe, you might want to send in another payment at that time to help reduce some penalties or interest, okay? That's the deadline for you if you have an individual tax return, so all of us, okay? But what if you own a small business? What if you are self-employed or you have an LLC, but you're actually self-employed? Well, you file your taxes, all of that activity for your business goes on a Schedule C. It's just part of your personal tax return. So it's a Schedule C, flows over to your 1040. It doesn't matter if you understand what I'm talking about or not, but the tax filing deadline is the same, okay? April 18, because it's part of your 1040. If you own a small business and it's an S Corp or it's an LLC that's taxed like an S Corp, then your tax filing deadline is March 15, okay? Same for partnerships. If you are in a partnership, then that tax filing is March 15 as well. you also get that tax extension, that immediate extension. Lots of businesses do that because you need that tax return done before you can do your personal return. And a lot of times those tax documents, in order to file the tax return for the business, those tax documents might not come out until later, or it's going to take you a little bit longer to clean up your books and all that sort of stuff. So S-Corps and LLCs that are subchapter S filing status, and if you have a partnership, March 15 is your deadline. You can extend for 6 months if you need to. All right, the last deadlines that I'll point out here, although I would tell you, okay, when I was just confirming some of these dates, I found this blog post here from bench.co. Check it out. I mean, if you have other unique tax deadlines or questions about deadlines, check out this link. You know, W-2s have to be out by the end of the year. 1099, same things, but 1099 miscellaneous have a little extension on them. So if you're curious about all those things, check out this blog. It's got lots of those deadlines in there. But the last thing that I would tell you is, what about estimated payments? What's the deadline for those? Well, like I said, if you've got to pay taxes when you have income, okay? And if you're paying taxes based on withholdings, fantastic. You can withhold at any time throughout the year. It doesn't really matter. But if you don't have adequate withholdings, then you've got to pay those taxes in the quarter in which they're due based on quarterly estimates. Now, for 2022, your quarterly estimate schedule, it starts April 18. Your first estimate is due April 18. That same as the tax filing deadline. Then the next quarterly estimate is June 15. So you only have 2 months in between, a little bit less than 2 months. Then September 15. Okay, and then January of 2023, January 15, okay? So that's quarterly. That's so confusing because it sounds like it should be every quarter on the quarter. It's not. It's not. It's very confusing. And also, those of you that are brewing up a tax surprise and file your tax return and realize, wow, I owe money and I owe more than I expected, and the source of me owing was some income that doesn't have withholdings, you might have to pay your taxes by April 18 and pay an estimated tax for 2022. That's that double whammy that can really pinch cash flow. So again, taking a proactive approach is always best. So hopefully this review of tax deadlines for tax season 2021 in the spring of 2022 is helpful for you. If you have any unique issues or deadlines or concerns, check out that blog or reach out to us with questions. You can certainly reach out to your CFP as well. The big idea, make sure you're doing planning. These tax deadlines, these tax filing, that should not be a surprise, okay? You should be doing tax planning, and that does two things. One, avoid surprises. Two, capture opportunities. So make sure you're working with your CFP on that. If you don't have a CFP on your team that's helping you, you can always contact one on my team. Find us online, Korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with a K. WiseMoneyShow.com. You can find us there as well, or give us a call, 574-247-5898. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.